Morning to you. I hope you have a good weekend ahead. I'm going to be spending mine reading a couple of books. Dana Perino has a new book out. Archbishop Charles Chaput has a new book out, Things Worth Dying For, Thoughts on a Life Worth Living. So I'm going to read both Dana and the Archbishop's book. And I encourage all of you to enjoy the weekend coming up and don't look at your stock portfolio. That's the most important thing. Don't look at your stock portfolio. Because if there's one story today, okay, I'm going to tell you what the story is. Over at the Wall Street Journal, S&P on track for a third week of declines led by tech. There's been a treasury rout, meaning that the value of bonds is going down, 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 and the interest rates are going up, up, up. And the job gains are tepid. Now, what in the world's going on? We had such a good stock market for so long. What's happening? And we added about 210,000 jobs in February, according to economists. And the unemployment rate's at about 6.3, although the real number is going to be released at 8:30 today. But about 6.3%. It'll be somewhere in there. And we're looking around at stocks, and we're saying to ourselves, my goodness, Amazon went below $3,000. So I looked up. I think I'm below $3,000 in a year. And I began to read the Wall Street Journal, and it turns out, I don't pay much attention. I'm not an investor, nor did I stay at a Holiday Inn. I leave that to people who run mutual funds, and I don't check my balances. I don't do that because I'm not a buyer and seller of things. Only when the estimable Mr. Botkin calls me do I do something. And he called me and said I was over-concentrated in that which I invest in one stock, Amazon. So I bought two other stocks, and now he leaves me alone again. And mutual funds. But that's what the estimable Mr. Botkin told me to do. But in the meantime, I looked up last night and see that 3 weeks in a row, the S&P's been getting shattered. So all the mutual funds that I own are down. All the stocks that I own are down. Value of my 401k and IRA is down. Down, down, down. And luckily, I don't have an adjustable rate mortgage. I see interest rates are up, up, up. How up, up, up? Now, this is not an ad for andrewandtodd.com. This is not an ad. But boy, oh boy, if you're buying a house, you better hurry up. If you're buying a house, you had better call Andrew and Todd today. 888-888-1172 or go visit their website, andrewandtodd.com. That's not an ad because they didn't pay for it. They're a great sponsor of the show, don't get me wrong. But on Fridays, they don't put an ad out. Why? Well, because they like their Saturdays and Sundays off. But now they've got a new young slave pulling a galley over there, so they can just make the slave stay there in the office all weekend and answer the phone. 888-888-1172. His name is Harley, and he has to be there now 72 hours straight without no sleep because I'm telling this on Friday. Just call him this weekend because this is wild. The 10-year Treasury yesterday got up to 1.55%. Now, it got to 0.52 9 months ago. It was down to 0.52. Now, the 10-year Treasury is usually around 2.5% in the last 5 to 7 years. And then the virus hit, and it plummeted because no one was, you couldn't get a loan, and the loans weren't available. And when they came back, they were very low, and people thought the economy was crushed. And, of course, Donald Trump bought it back, and the three packages that were targeted brought it back. But the Senate is debating today a $1.9 trillion slush fund. It's a giant hose down of the country with money that looks like it's going to go to everybody who's got a D behind their name. It's not an economically sound package. And though they threw out the subway in Silicon Valley and they've tossed out a couple of high-end pork things, the Fed employees out there are still going to get $21,000 each for staying home if their child has to stay home from school. Schools are still closed. The vaccine numbers are great. I'll check them. I'll give you the latest from the CDC. We now have 110 million doses delivered and 82 million doses administered in the United States. And I'll be the first to tell you, I've had one dose, waiting for the second dose. And I feel a lot better. I go to my work anyway, but my work's in the studio, so I'm not having to work with people. I'm not worried. I'll bet you that Solaire, our buddy Brett Rasmussen at Solaire Infrared Grills, besthotgrills.com, I'll bet you they are pumping out grills and patio heaters as fast as they can. I will bet you that our friends at relieffactor.com are zipping around, and people are working hard who have jobs. I know that, but the interest rate is going to eventually slow this economy down. And when I say the interest rate, I mean the 10-year Treasury at 1.55%. And so why has it gone up, 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 up? So that now you're not going to get an interest rate in the twos anymore. You're going to get an interest rate in the threes. But next year, you're going to be begging for an interest rate in the fours. So you better get off your fanny and call Andrew and Todd at 888-888-1172 today and get a pre-qualifying letter. If you're going to go out there, you're going to go look for a house in April. No, go look for a house this weekend. Put on a mask, go out there and go to open houses, do virtual open houses. The number of people who are leaving cities, I hope you're not trying to buy a condo in New York City. That's like catching a falling knife. Condo prices in New York City are just a nightmare. If you're in D.C., they're going up through the roof. John Leahy, our friend, call up John this weekend. Lahy. If you're in Atlanta, go find Gina Cousineau. If you're in, well, no matter where you are, go find a realtor this weekend because Cousineau, who? Tracy Cousineau, I'm sorry. And don't wait around. Atlanta, go call Tracy Cousineau, D.C., the Tri-Metro area, Maryland, D.C. Go find John Leahy. Go find a realtor who knows what they're doing. Call up Andrew and Todd, 888-888-1172, because I look at the economics of this and I say, this is not good. Joe Biden's going to kill the economy faster than I thought. I thought he'd kill the economy by, cutting jobs like the XL pipeline. Oil is up at $65 a barrel. Under Trump, it was around $40 a barrel for the last year, even with the shutdown. And the markets are down 3 weeks in a row. Now, maybe it's early in the day. I don't know if they'll turn that around during the day. I never know what the Friday numbers are going to be like on Friday before 4 p.m. But I know that Germany's down 0.77%. Hong Kong went down. Japan went down. England's up. England's actually 0.13% up. But when yesterday's 10-year bond was at 1.47% and this morning's at 1.55%, that means everything is getting more expensive. And the reason is because the Democrats are going to print $2 trillion. And they're going to spend it on public employee unions. And by the way, this is not stimulus money. When you bail out the states and the states tuck that money away to pay their current and past employees for the next 35 years, ridiculous high pensions. And I do mean ridiculously high pensions. And right now, I don't mean to make you feel bad. There's a water district worker going to work in California somewhere, and they've worked hard for 25 years. They've been going in and checking those valves or moving paper around and checking bills and answering customer service. They've been really in it. They've been in the thick of battle for 25 years at that desk. And they're going to retire, they're going to retire after 25 years at $120,000 a year. And they're going to be 55, and they're going to count on working, living into 100 for another 45 years. And the state of California will send them that $120,000 for 45 more years. That's how it works. Every teacher in California puts in their 30 years. They're going to get their high three. High three being whatever their highest salary was at the end of 3 years. I'm not going to ask Sticky Fingers Patterson, that's the wife of Dwayne, what her salary is, but she'll make that salary for the rest of her life, and she deserves it because she taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. So she actually is sort of like a colonel in the military.
She should get combat. She should get combat pay.
Combat pay. All that money that they're going to spend today in the Senate or tomorrow is going to go to government workers who are Democratic states, blue state bonanza. But it's screwing your portfolio and it's crushing the market. And it's Joe Biden's his 100 days will be remembered for crushing the stock market and destroying your hopes of buying a home.